this for. This is going to complete the hip and pelvis series, and we're going to dedicate this one to flexibility. Okay, flexibility is a key component of what we're trying to achieve, because strength is great, we're trying to build muscle, but without extensibility, i.e. the length of muscle groups, there's going to be a lot of pain. Because if you think about how basically muscles via a tendon attached to bones, what's going to happen is they'll pull on the bones, they'll cause issues with the joints, they'll cause issues in and around surrounding tissues, which sends a signal to the brain, and everything tightens up. To protect it, you get tighter and tighter and tighter, and you get more and more pain. It becomes a vicious cycle. So there's been a lot documented about which kind of muscle groups to hit around the hip and pelvis. We're going to predominantly hit the hip flexors. Again, see the hip flexor piece that I've gone and uploaded on the video. The lecture that I've done, which will tell you a little bit about why the back gets tight and why we have issues and pain around the front of the hips and potentially all the way up into the brain, and tension throughout that spinal canal. Okay, so hip flexors, here we go. Now it can be a rolled up towel, but advantageously if we've got a cheap foam roller or an expensive one, reasonably expensive one like this, you can utilise this. Probably best to do this one on the floor. So again, it'll just depend on what you need to support the legs. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and bridge our spine and pelvis. So we're going to stick that in underneath. And again, if you want to take your legs further that way, okay, so we're in that position there, dropping. What that's done is kind of sort of arched my hip and pelvis, all right, and it's lengthened here across the front, all right. That's where we should try and feel it. If we can't feel that too much, we're going to try and bring that up into the abdominal cavity. We should take the arms above the head, okay. And what you do is try and imagine kind of the levers on a vehicle, okay. So we're here, extend, and we're trying to feel through underneath the rib cage, right, and the soft tummy area, and push the leg away on the right side, hold for static, and then on the left side, hold for static, and then on the opposite side again. All right, happy. So that's hip flexor one. Again, you might get no relief out of that one. So what I've done is I've done a standing exercise which you can do on the frame. Forgive me not having a frame. I've got an old chair from the garden which will help me support. So we set that up. End of the bed. Again, set your system up how you need to. So you might want to roll up a towel or throw of sorts. And again, a lot of this will depend on partner assistance. So ultimately what we're trying to do is to get our frame as much weight on our upper body as we need to, okay? Cocking the leg round, again for support with the cage, so nice and supported. Let the foot drop off the back there, and just open up that lever, all right? Nice and strong. And I mean, I have tight hip flexors, but I can imagine from being sat and lying for long periods of time, the hip flexors super, super tight. So it may be that the leg is there. Again, a lot of this will depend on how much, again, flexion at the knee, but we can extend there so we can have that leg long. We can make this as thick as we need to, as high as we need to bridge the gaps. If we have a nice high one, I'll show you that one there. Again, just leave it on. And I'm trying not to put too much weight on my lower limb there on the opposite side, because I'm obviously aware that weight bearing is an issue. So again, move the frame closer, take all the upper body weight. Again, good for the strength in the upper body, as much as you need to, okay? You need to lean over, happy days. And if you want to increase that, what we're going to do is squeeze the glute on that side, okay? That'll intensify that stretch and magnify it hugely, driving the pelvis forwards and downwards, which will stretch that, open that case and cover up, all right? So, like so, squeeze, hold, relax, and change. And then we just do the opposite side, so we go over to that side of the bed, and we stretch the opposite side. Nice and simple. Okay. So we're going to concentrate on the groins now. Again, build up your pillow systems for support and comfort. We're going to come toward the edge of the bed now, so that we've kind of got a grasp, all right, of the bed. We're going to take the legs as far as we can. If it's here, and you feel the stretch, happy days. If it's there, great. If you can get maximal range, as much as you possibly can, all right? Nice and strong. Take a good hold, and then what we're going to do is pull ourselves forwards. That'll intensify that stretch to no end, all right? As much flexion as you can. Now, we're trying not to round the spine, okay? Because that'll put tension somewhere else that we don't want to put tension on just now. We're trying to stay fairly tall in the spine, so we're leaning forward at the hips. Again, that might magnify the tension through the cages, through the legs. If you're starting to feel tension there through upward pressure versus against the cage onto the tibia, then simply reduce, prop them up however you can. Nice soft cushion pillows, excuse me, like so. Get the groins in the similar position, nice and soft. Reach to the front, and away you go, okay? Feet off the edge if you can. If not, and it feels more comfortable, supported, great. Again, remember, don't round the spine. We're looking to stay nice and tall and straight, chest proud, and we're going to pull ourselves in, rotating from the pelvis. As soon as you do that, you'll feel that stretch magnify hugely on the adductors, okay? And I can imagine they're incredibly tight as well. So we're going to build those, build the flexibility in there. All right. So the glute complex then. So we've done the groins now, we've done the hip flexors. So the glute complex is quite a difficult one to stretch. So again, you might want to build up your pillow system a little higher. You can build your pillow system underneath the support leg as well there. So that's nice and comfortable. Start with the leg on the pillow system. As you feel capable and strong enough, just bring up the cage here, hold the mid thigh, and try and get, if you haven't got the flexion, let the leg go long, that's fine. And we're going to try and feel the stretch through here. So back lying then, arm nice and flat, and just try and draw it up through the body as close as you can, so we feel the stretch here around the hamstrings and glutes. And release. Same detail on the opposite side, exactly the same stretch protocol. That should get the glutes firing off quite considerably in terms of a lengthening. Again, what we're looking for is to try and get the hamstrings and the glutes, because they kind of overlap and connect via tissue. If you can't feel that in the hamstring, there are a million different hamstring stretches we can do. So we can get our pillow system set up with the legs, we can go straight legs to get what they call the TV sit, which is kind of a nerve stretch as well, so you might get a little tingling. So just be aware of that. Again, what we're going to try and do is just lean forwards. Again, remember, try not to round the spine. That will put tension through the nervous system, and you'll start getting too much pins and needles. You might even get tension up through the head and neck. It's not a dangerous thing, but we want to try and avoid those kind of nerve stretches for the time being, unless we're actually trying to attack that. We're trying to get flexibility in the hamstrings. So you could do it from here, again, pillow system, your choice. You could do it in the split position as we showed before, pillow system underneath, leaning down to that side. You can lay off the edge of the bed. I like to kind of open the legs, stay nice and tall, and lean forwards, okay? So from the side, what that looks like, nice and tall and lean forwards, okay? If I keep my pelvis in that upright position, kind of military posture like, all right, that changes the angle of the pelvis, all right? So where the hamstring connects at the top here, just underneath the sitting bones on the glute there, what happens is I'm automatically, by coming into that position there, I'm making my hamstrings tighter, and by lowering under tension, under load, gravity's trying to pull me down, that hamstring will feel a substantive stretch. Again, just kind of look out for pins and needles. We're not looking for pins and needles at this point. Remember your pillow systems. That should hold you good steady. Now, how long to hold for? There's not really a great deal of research out there that says hold any longer or shorter for 30, 35, 40 seconds. The more you do it, obviously, the more flexibility we're going to gain over time. I spend approximately an hour a day to an hour and a half a day stretching, and I don't have major problems. I have tightness, but again, I get up the next day, suck it up, and go again. That allows me to train the musculature as hard as I need to, maintaining balance between strength and flexibility, okay? You'll feel a stretch. So immediately you'll feel a stretch. The body will want to fight that stretch. Okay? After about 15 seconds, the body will release the tension and allow you to go a little bit further. So you're able to drop a little further. You're able to pull it a little closer to your body. Okay? That's called a developmental stretch. Now, 2 or 3 of those little movements extra will give you the length that you need for that period of time. It will shorten and tighten as we work our muscle groups, but again, we're just trying to shorten and tighten them to strengthen them and lengthen them out with flexibility. The mobility is kind of your warm-up, all right, get the blood flowing, get the tissues moving. Then you've got your strength work, which is the kind of tension and strength that you need. And then we've got the flexibility as the cool down bit, which is the kind of vital components for all 3.